State and even in Imo State. Because if there is success and blessings in these two states, will somehow rub off on the rivers. And beyond that, we've got listeners who listen from Imo State and who listen from Bayelsa State. So we would take them into consideration today as we push the conversation for this. But what really I want to focus on, even though we're talking elections and things happening in Bayelsa and Imo, is something I saw in the news. Usually I'll take my conversation from what is in the news, and it is captioned "Lessons learned from recent polls. We will ensure credible elections," and it's coming from INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu. So he said that they've learned certain lessons from the elections that held earlier in the year, February, March, and offered them certain lessons, and they are not working on it. And I'm going to quote him. He says, "With every elections, lessons have been learned from recent elections." Yakubu disclosed on Tuesday in a statement addressed to stakeholders, describing elections as a multi-stakeholder responsibility. He added, "We will continue to ensure free, fair, and credible and inclusive elections, but I cannot do it." So that's why I have decided to talk about it. INEC cannot do it alone. But let's first face INEC. A lot of people called it on radio for months. From when we ended the election in the month of March till after the Supreme Court judgment, that is for the presidential election martyrs, people called in and berated the electioneering process. Up till now, some people on social media are still talking dirty when it comes to what transpired in the electioneering season. And some people, I've heard them say, they will never, ever, never have again, if there's anything like that. I was just trying to emphasize. But they will never vote again. Some said, the time that they decided to vote, it has shattered them, and they never will believe in the system. And because it's my job, because I believe in Nigeria, I have nonetheless continually brought conversations to the fore that will help and encourage us continue to believe in Nigeria, because what we believe is what we will see. Cannot make Nigeria great if we don't believe. Look at the economy. I do know that in the coming days, new data will come out for what the level of inflation is. Maybe what calculated for the month of October. When that comes out, I'm expecting that it will still skyrocket, and that is because we Nigerians, I get to believe in the country. When we do believe, our actions will show, will help the country boom and progress. However, we cannot ignore the fact that they are setting challenges. We cannot ignore the fact that there are issues that we need to surmount to be able to get to the promised land. There is the wilderness that we have to, get past to be able to get to the promised land. INEC said they have learned their lessons. The first question is, if INEC should get it right tomorrow, Saturday, the 11th of November, 2023, will Nigerians believe? Will Nigerians trust the process again? Oh, okay. Let me personalize it. Would you become hopeful and just believe that maybe somewhere, 2027 may give us the kind of elections that we all dream of? By the way, there is no utopian society. I need you to put that in mind, that there is no society that has got it all 100% correct. There are always one issue or the other even in the so-called developed countries. So the question then is, even though we may not be able to eradicate every issue, but would possibly be able to the barest minimum. Will that be, or can that be, motivation for you to want to, take part in what is your civic duty? Tomorrow's election. What are your expectations? Or if you do not have expectations, what would likely make you believe again? But then, let's go to the other side of the conversation. And yet again, I'm going to quote the INEC chairman, where he said, "We will continue to ensure free, fair, and credible and inclusive elections, but INEC cannot do it alone." And so, it brings me to the 3 states that will be participating in an off-cycle election. And Kogi State, yes, I did say it's far away from us, so we necessarily do not have to look at it. But we've seen acts of violence, intimidation here and there. I was watching national TV the other day, in national TV, and I saw where CCTV captured where it was the belief. I do not know whether it was a group of thugs. I do not know, but they, looking at eliminating some very key people, it was looking like an assassination attempt. In Kogi State, we have recorded a lot of violence, I should say. Of course, you understand what's been happening. We've been getting reports, and now the whole NLC issue has made it even more the messier situation. Bayelsa State, I just read the news update not too long ago. There's also the commotion, maybe 1 or 2 instances in the past, but even today, two groups had a go at each other right in front of the police headquarters. At least as a matter of fact. So then the question is for you and I, as citizens, can we conduct ourselves accordingly, appropriately? For those of you listening from Bayelsa, for those of you listening from Imo State, could it be Owerri, could it be Yenegua, could it be in the Kolokuma or Okuma local government, whatever it is that you find yourself? The question is, are you ready to put your emotions in check and ensure that the process is smooth, and that you be a good loser, a good sportsman if your preferred candidate does not win, rather than throwing a tantrum and making it almost impossible to hold an election in Nigeria? So I just want to know. Remember, it's conversation development, and we want the better. We can talk down all the things that we do, even with the Japa, not just means. And I do have a feeling that if we abandon our land, just like they did in the colonial part, they will come back and they will use our land and they will use it well. And then we'll begin to clamor, give us back our land. But what do I know? 22 minutes gone past. Can I take calls? I'm not certain. I think I've got a commercial break coming up in 3 minutes. Apologies for talking too long, but I'm just going to go straight to the WhatsApp platform and see if I've got 1 or 2 messages there. But you can join the conversation on Facebook. We're Live Nigerian PH. You can also send your WhatsApp messages. I can write them to the number 0809 0306 or better still, maybe I can risk and take one call for the break. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. What are your thoughts based on what we are looking at, what we are talking about? Isabella from LN1 says, good evening, Canada. In all the reports, I haven't heard what the mistake INEC admits they made in the last general election. How then do we know what they have or will correct? Until we know the exact mistakes they intend to correct, can't adequately ascertain if they will fulfill their promise. Isabella, thank you. But Isabella, I did ask the question, and I asked, and I put it in this way: if INEC is able to deliver a good election tomorrow, emphasis on good, are we going to believe in the process all over again? And that's what I'm asking. Is it possible? Is it something we want to do? Is it something we can do? Believe in Nigeria by the actions of INEC tomorrow in at least the states that surround us. I'm talking Imo, I'm talking Bayelsa, maybe by extension, Kogi State. All right, Bayelsa election, people, election, there, people, what this says, it's a long read. But I came from Omuma, I read messages, and I'll tell you, what I think. If you want to PH, you can comment, or you can pay it on the one 0809 036 max 92.3. lines, you must have heard where the former President Goodluck Jonathan called for violence-free elections in the 3 states where off-cycle elections will be holding tomorrow. And it's part of our conversation on the side of the people. Are we able to behave ourselves? Because usually the politicians don't go into the streets themselves. They use the people to go into the streets. Can we, those of you listening from Elsa and Emo, can we behave ourselves in the appropriate manner? That's a question I'm asking on the show, or one of the questions I'm asking. But the other one, and I like to think it's the biggest one, is if INEC can conduct a good election tomorrow, can emphasis on that, would that change your perception of the electoral process, the electioneering process, and would that inspire you, motivate you to want to be a part of the system all over again, based on some of the remarks I've heard you say in time past? And that's what I want us to talk about. I am Kalada Korubatibo. This is Hard Facts, and you're listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info. So the phone lines are open: 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. Alozie King from Amuma says, I have no confidence in INEC, whether they learnt lessons or not. I will not be surprised if what happens in the 2023 general elections repeat itself again in the 3 states where you will hear stories of passwords were not sent, or pulling in presiding officers, and the usual internet glitches and so on. It is so sad and very heartbreaking that democracy in Nigeria is only existing in the name, not in the practice. Our election victory is not determined by citizens, voters, rather by INEC and the court, the highest bidder. Alozie King from Omu. I've got Miriam has just called him, but before I take Miriam's call, let me quickly read this one. It says the election in Imo State will experience some pocket of violence tomorrow. Why are you praying for that? Fidelis Nyai and Lemua. Why are you praying for that, really? I've got Miriam from Okrika. Miriam, welcome on the show. What is on your... Let's get to hear from you.
Oh, yeah, KDB, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
KDB, I want to believe, I want to maybe other fans also believe that the election in Nigeria or all over the world is the game. Elections are games. There will be losers and there will be winners. And you know the problem we have in Nigeria?
You tell me.
Play games with the strong intent of always winning. If they don't win, it's the game is not fair. So how can I convince people that will always believe that when they don't win this game, the odds are against them? How can you convince them? And when they can't do this alone, I wonder, Kalada, are we going to do their job for them? INEC has a job to do. We have us to do. The people's job is just to go and go. INEC job to do their job.
Okay.
To count the votes, to give us results. So I just telling us that we need to do their job with them. They need to do their job and do it in sincerity and clarity.
All right.
But honestly, Kalada, this is great.
So you have not answered my Muriel, you have not answered my question. Will you believe in the system? Because I know you may have some doubts, but would you believe in the system if INEC can get it right tomorrow?
Absolutely, Father. Why not?
All right.
What is the criteria? What would they different, Calaba? Is it the thing they did in the presidential elections? So whatever the outcome is, Calaba, I will believe. We don't have any choice. We don't have any option.
All right.
And that's our only option. So we have to believe their rules.
All right.
We have to follow their rules, their procedures.
All right.
At the end of the day, it's just like saying Nigerians to know this.
All right. It's a game, she says. Do you agree with her? Is it Ken from Ubumini? Welcome.
Good evening, Canada.
Yes, greetings. Welcome to the show.
You see, I would have advised the chair and the chairman to first and foremost apologize to Nigerian citizens.
For what reason? For what reason?
Opportunity he should have used to apologize for assuring us in these 3 states.
So
what is he telling us? That means the elections which he did not admit his mistakes and the irregularities that was fought.
Okay.
Are you talking to me?
I was going to ask you, when you say apologize, what is he apologizing for? Because
He
his
has opportunity
lens.
to apologize
For what reason?
Nigerians.
How did he disappoint? I mean, we learned to lesson doesn't mean we did the wrong thing. I mean, those are two different things. So except your
But he
interpretation.
not even admit that he was trying to learn something. He claimed that he did perfectly well.
Okay.
Now he's telling us now that he had learned a lesson. Good lesson.
But there was never a time, is it? There was never a time when INEC said they did perfectly well. Admitted that there were glitches. I mean, that's how we got to start saying glitches.
Okay, they admitted that they did well, right?
Just go ahead with your point, please.
So what I'm saying in effect is this. If he wants Nigeria to retain their hope, to rely on their exercise in the next dispensation, let there be absolute double election in the state, because we are watching.
Okay.
Let there be no excuse longer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I've got Benson from Chair. Benson, welcome on the show. What is on your mind, please? Share with me.
Yes, Canada,
welcome.
Canada, Nigerians are not English. If INEC will accept it and it will commend them. I remember last time AGP, Anambra, and the old state. Everybody applauded them because we feel that they did well. And that was true.
Was it because we felt they did well, or was it because our preferred candidates won the election? Which is it?
No. Not our preferred candidate. In Anambra, I'm an citizen, but in Anambra, my candidate fell, and I know that they did well in Anambra.
Okay.
In INEC.
Okay.
So, if Osho State, what happened at Osho State? I also believe the PDP person won in Osho State. And everybody in Nigeria helped them because they did well in those states. So if they are going to perform positively in tomorrow's election, Nigerians will clap for them. That is my belief.
All right then. All right, thank you.
Please need to say this. I want to sue for in my election.
Okay, quickly, please.
The Nigerians should take an example of what happened 2 weeks ago. Those who came to protest and for politicians. Look at what is happening today.
All right.
Those of them should also know that they should conduct and go for election, not for any that.
All right. Thank you, Benson. My time is up. I've got to let you go. I'm sorry. Your message. I am from GRA. Welcome.
In the words of the former president of Nigeria, I touch myself from it. The truth must be spoken. These three states that we say we are suing for peace, the truth there, what is the percentage that have a job? What is the percentage that have a business? What is the government impact in the life of these people?
So
I want to ask.
So are you saying?
Are
you saying they should go fight a battle because they don't have all the things you've mentioned?
Why are they sending army, police, just everybody there to do what?
Security.
The money they're sending all everybody, if they have that money in empowering those youths, they will not even listen to any politician. They will not associate with anything violence. You did not give them job. The money is supposed to be empowering them. You are giving them money to army. You are buying guns. What are you buying? Are you not buying violence or paying for violence? When you know that you're there, where you are coming from as a former
All right.
You just sit there yelling. Now you are saying you want peace. Why are we this hypocritical in this country?
All right, Zion, I've got to go. Thank you very much. I've got to move on now. Robin from HA. Welcome, Robin. What is on your mind, please?
Good evening.
Yeah.
There cannot be peace without justice. So you are with me on this.
I don't know about that, but go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, good and fine. I feel pained when people begin to sing songs of peace, 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 without mentioning justice. How do you kill my mother? You kill my father, you kill my mother, you rape my sister. You tell me peace. And the people who commit heinous crimes are in one round. You can imagine what you read in the news. Right in the front of police command of a state, two groups clash. These two groups that clash, are they aliens? They clash because they have two leaders. The police hierarchy have compromised. That is why they have the audacity to clash.
How do you find a way to blame the police for this? Really?
Okay, was it what I said? You don't know that fighting in public is an offense?
Okay.
Don't you know? So they can continue to deceive themselves. That is what is happening, and 227 will be worse. You can know that the president of the limited rights of states who are members.
They have denied that. They have denied the idea. They don't belong to political. APC has come out to say. Thank you very much. Let you mislead people. APC, has come out to say they don't know the individuals that were mentioned to belong to the political party. And that's that. We'll go for a commercial break. When we do come back, we'll talk about this some more, because by that time it will be open season. Do stay tuned.